If you think back to Benjamin Franklin's American Revolution advertisement, he suggested if we not stay unified, our nation would never succeed or last. Using a picture of a broken up snake, he aimed to prove that separation leads to death. This was exactly why Chief Winfield Scott of the North proposed the Anaconda Plan. The plan was meant to strangle the South, hence the name Anaconda. The plan involved two main goals, a blockade of the southern ports and sending an army down the Mississippi River. The first part of Scott's plan, the blockade, was perhaps the most important aspect. It aimed to cut off supplies and trade with the South, forcing them to rejoin the Union. States such as South Carolina had seceded or separated from the Union. More than a military action, the plan simply aimed to force seceded unions back in the United States. The second part of the plan included a group of soldiers that were sent down the Mississippi River to capture major cities in the states that had seceded. This army of men would be followed closely behind by a larger group of soldiers to secure the towns. Winfield Scott believed that the blockade would allow the North to see how serious the South was in wanting to separate from them. The plan took criticism as many felt it was not aggressive enough. Many at the time were already sure that war was coming and wanted to strike first more quickly. The goal of the land attacks and naval attacks launched down the Mississippi would split the South in half. If the plan succeeded, the North would win the war more quickly. At the same time, Scott never developed the plan thoroughly enough to be successful. The plan required a large army and navy to carry out, and at the time the United States had no such army or navy, so it would require intense military training. But the plan received increased support when General Ulysses S. Grant carried out the naval attack, capturing Vicksburg and other southern cities. Otherwise, the only other problem was not seeing the issue of Britain in respect to the blockade. If you remember back to the Tariff of Abominations, both the South and Britain were frustrated as Britain was not getting as much of the South's cotton. The same issue occurred here. As with the blockade, Britain became angry to the point where they were willing to help the Confederacy revolt against the North. The final stage of the plan was to capture New Orleans. This finally happened in 1862 and the plan was complete, but the war continues and many other battles followed. When the war finally ended, General Grant and Winfield Scott were revered as war heroes.